Sece, there you go. How are you? Sorry, I didn't think that was not gonna work. So, it is my pleasure to be your host this evening and to be here with you. My name is Catherine, and I will be your host. But they call me Cat around here, just so you know. This evening we have an amazing lineup with beautiful, wonderful people, and I'm really excited for you to experience this with us. So if you are here, make sure that you sign in on Facebook. Then you can go ahead and put your phone on vibrate so that you can really give yourself the full hour to yourself. And if you are watching us on the live stream, let us know where you're watching and tuning in from because we would love to know. And all that being said, we're going to power up with the wonderful and beautiful Kinney Dye. She's coming to us from Oklahoma. She has traveled with Broadway musicals in New York City, and she is here with us this evening. So we're incredibly lucky to have her on this stage. You ready?
Mostly.
I'm just going to keep talking until she's really ready. And I think that's it. Never mind. She left her pick in Oklahoma.
I love it because it makes me sound like I traveled all the way here this evening from Oklahoma.
She lives here now in California.
Yeah. It's been a minute since I've been in Oklahoma. My name's Kinney. I'm so super stoked to be here tonight. The sun ain't shining, but I'm still smiling as the rain rolls over me. See the day let go, hold this feeling low, and the rain came to wash me clean. There's the sun behind the clouds, I see the rays peek out. There's gold behind the gray. So let the rain cleanse my soul, let the sun make me whole again. 'Cause I've been needing a healing from the sky, and I'll walk away free from the fear that's been binding me. Gonna leave it behind and let the rain roll, 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 roll over me. Let it roll, 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 roll over me. When storm clouds gather, ooh, you'll find me out there with my bare feet on the earth, soaking up the sweetness, covered by darkness, dancing away my pain and hurt. And out to the clouds it rolled away. It's just another day, I don't mind the gray. So let the rain cleanse my soul, let the sun make me whole again. 'Cause I'm in needing a healing, and I'll walk away free from the fear that's been binding me. Gonna leave it behind and let the rain roll, 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 roll over me. Let it roll, 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 roll over me. Oh, I can see the sunshine through the gray, and I know tomorrow it will not be the same. Ooh, let it roll. Let it roll, let it roll. Oh, let it roll. Let it roll, 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 roll
Oh, I really undersold her. I'm sorry, guys. She's amazing. Okay, so this is the portion where we're going to really pray in. We have this gentleman here this evening who has been with Seaside for over 20 years, and he's here every Wednesday. He's really just one of those human beings that you can always rely on, and his prayers are deep. So help me welcome Dennis Mills.
Good evening, everybody. So if you can just close your eyes if you like. And as we are sitting here in these chairs now, feeling that presence of God, feeling that presence of life and of love, of joy and of laughter and of music, as we are sitting here in this Power Up service, feeling that energy. And as we continue to be energized by the talks, by the music, by all those here with us tonight, we know that as our speaker sees, as she continues to bring us the information to power up, to keep us moving through this week, knowing that it is this time of the week that gets us over the hump and into the rest of the time. For as we feel that presence of God here tonight, it goes with us each and every day. In each and every moment of the day, we feel that presence in our cells of our body, energizing us and allowing us to continue to know the presence of God is here right now. So it is in this time now, I know that it is with the joy and the laughter, and so it is.
All right. So, with all that being said, we're going to take this time to really think about, really go within so that we can figure out, why are we here? Why did you get up? Why did you get in your car to come here this evening? What is your intention? So we're going to have a little strumming while we all either close our eyes, keep them open, and search for that intention for ourselves this evening. Fluttering our eyes open, coming back into the room. What are some of those intentions that came up for you? Peace. To be inspired. You came to the right place. Energy. Wonderful. Well, I came here to be inspired by you guys. Do you want to share, Cece?
So for me, I just came here to be a channel.
A channel.
A channel for
Wow.
love.
Ooh, we got a channel here. Do you want to share?
Yeah, I've been working a lot the last couple of weeks on this mantra, I am.
Hmm.
And then allowing whatever bubbles up within to kind of bring itself from the depths of my being to speak a lot of truth.
Okay. Wow. All right, we got deep in like 5 seconds. All right. So, thank you guys. And for all those intentions that were said, all those intentions that were not said, all those intentions that we have over our live stream, together we say, and so it is. Okay. So, this evening, I'm so excited. We have this wonderful woman who is here to be a channel for us. She came all the way from Temecula, and we were talking in the back about boosting. We'll talk about that later. She is a workshop facilitator, a public speaker, a licensed practitioner, a ministerial student, like how, all this stuff, and she's a singer-songwriter. Her life has been transformed by this teaching, spiritual practice, with the CSL community, Centers for Spiritual Living. She is called to serve God and humanity in ever greater ways, and her intention is to move hearts and be a powerful channel of love and truth as humanity awakens to its divinity. So, with all that being said, help me give Sece a warm welcome.
Thank you, Kat. So it's good to be here this evening. This is my first Power Up Wednesday. I want to give a shout out to my friend Kim Jera and for Kat to give me a call and just invite me in to this time where you come together and explore truth and look for that place to gain that inspiration and that peace and to come together in this space of love. So tonight I'm going to talk about living as the light. Now, the truth is, this time of year, this is the holidays. How's everybody getting through the holidays right now, by the way? Doing good? Good? Yes, it's a busy time, right? Yes, very busy. And so, for me, at this time of year especially, because there is so much going on, I really have to be intentional about taking that time to go within and to get back in touch with that light that's at the center of me, that's at the center of all people, and is truly the reason for the season, right? We hear this saying that Jesus is the reason for the season, and that's true. In the Christian faith, that is definitely true. This is the time where the celebration of his birth is very much a part of that faith. And our teaching is very much rooted in that faith in the mystical sense. We, the early movers and shakers of this teaching really looked at the message that Jesus was trying to show. He was the great way shower. He was the great example. And when I thought of that saying, Jesus is the reason, I went into meditation as I was writing this talk, and I imagined myself having this discussion with Jesus. That's kind of going within and asking that inner part of ourselves, what's the truth here? Is this, and so in my mind's eye, I'm like, so, Jesus, what is the reason for this time? And in that quiet contemplation, what came to me is this time is simply an opportunity to remember and celebrate the truth of who we are and to love one another. And that really is, a lot of symbols in this time of year, whether it's Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or Christmas. Light is a big part of it. And so that's what led me to pick the title and led me to go down this course. We have a very short period of time to come through with a central message. And so I just want to touch on the central theme of what I see as Jesus' life. He was the first one to really speak in this place of, he had 2 commandments, right? Love God and love one another. That's it. And I and the Father is within me. So he taught about oneness. He taught us about the power of forgiveness. In the Old Testament, there was a lot of judgment going on there, right? There was a lot of stone throwing and things like that. And he was a rebel. Jesus was a rebel. He taught that lesson of love. He spoke it, he walked it. Before he began his ministry, he went out into the desert for 40 days, and he fasted, and he prayed, and he meditated. So one of the things that I get from Jesus is he was a man that walked his talk. He practiced, he communed with the divine. And this is really the secret for how we can move through life, continually expanding and continually allowing our own light to shine, because I know that each of us is that. Each of us is an emanation of this one light. We're all beams of it, unique and beautiful, and perfect. And Christ consciousness really is another word for enlightenment. We come into this expression to remember who we are and to shine that light. And I think my central message in it is my experience has been so transformed by spiritual practice, prayer, meditation, and opening more and more deeply to that divine presence. It has made me more loving, more patient, more kind, way more powerful, and more centered in who I am. And that's the truth for each of us. It's right there. And Jesus was a great way shower in that way. He walked his talk. And he went against the grain sometimes of what other people expected of this Jewish boy, right? He was a rebel. I like to consider myself a rebel, you know? We all are our own light. There is something that is trying to be born in each of us that wants to be revealed. Ernest Holmes says this: "Who is born of love is born of God, for God is love. Without love, nothing can be accomplished. With love, all things are possible. And when we love, our prayers are answered and the gift of heaven is made. The gift of heaven is life and not death, love and not hate, peace and not confusion. And we enter into this paradise through the gateway of love toward one another and toward God. Love is greater than all else and covers a multitude of mistakes. Love overcomes everything and neutralizes all that is unlike itself." So just breathe that in. Love is the healing force. God is love, and we are each that. And in many ways, as we move through the holidays, as we move into a new year, because this is a progression, right? We have Hanukkah and Christmas, we have this, and then we have the New Year's. And a lot of times we set intentions. And I think, for me, the simplest of intentions that has the greatest power is to be loving, to be more loving every day. Set in that intention to express more love, because for me, in my experience, that power that is within is not only for myself, the transformative power, but when you can show up as love for someone else in their dark moment, it can change the trajectory of their life. When someone is in that place of sorrow or despair, it can change everything. Being that light of love. I actually have a story, it's a personal story, that I think for me it's a powerful one because it was a powerful experience and it speaks to that shining as the light of love. When I was about 18 years old, my aunt, who I hadn't seen in many years, came to visit. And she was married to Marines, so they were stationed in Okinawa for several years, so I hadn't seen her in a long time. And while she was away, I was learning how to play guitar. I wanted to be a rock star. I was singing and writing songs. So she came to visit. And my mom said, "Oh, come out and play a song for Aunt Mary." I'm like, okay. So I did. And the reaction I got from her was the first time I'd ever gotten such a reaction. She burst into tears. She's like, "Oh my God, that was amazing. You need to come to California. You're going to be a star. You got something, girl. You need to come." That moved me. And I'd never heard that before. You know, my family wasn't, especially on my dad's side of the family, which was the family that surrounded me, they never really gave you props, you know? And so for me, that was life-changing, and it changed the trajectory of my life. And so we fast forward 20 years later, and my wife and I were on a cruise. We were leaving out of the port of San Francisco. And just as the ship was leaving, it was like the most perfect night. The moon was full. You could see the reflection of it on the water, the lights of the city. We had our wine, and we were just like, wow, this life, this is amazing. And it hit me. I was open in that moment because I was so full of love and gratitude. There was this moment of inspiration, which was divinely sent. It's like, I realized, you know what, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for her, if it weren't for my aunt. In that moment, all those years ago, seeing my light and being the light for me. And I chose in that moment, you know what, I need to find her because we hadn't spoken in years. I need to tell her how grateful I am. So it actually took me a while to find her. You know, she had been going through a very, very dark period in her life and had lost touch with all of the family. And so it took me a few weeks to actually locate her, and I made the call, got her machine, and she called me back later that night. There was a little trepidation in her voice, you know. She thought I was calling to say that somebody had died, you know, because she hadn't heard from anybody in so long, and she was in her own little world. But when I called to tell her just how much she meant to me and how that time and that choice and how she supported me changed the trajectory of my life, and just to give her that love and gratitude, I mean, she burst into tears and she's like, thank you so much. And little did I know that at that time of her life, you know, she was in a really abusive relationship. That phone call that I made to her, that divine inspiration that came to me a few weeks before, was the phone call that gave her the courage to leave. In that moment, she realized that there was something good about herself and that she deserved love. So it's a powerful story. It's still, sometimes when I think about it, it brings tears to my eyes because it was inspired. Marianne Williamson says this: "We are not held back by the love we didn't receive in the past, but by the love we are not extending in the present." So, all in all, I would say the central message of this is to intentionally set that bar ever, ever higher, to expand more in our ability to love ourselves, to love one another, and to love God, for this is where the power is. Thank you.
Whew. I was looking for tissues and I had kicked them on my way up here. Wow. Well, this is the portion where if you have any questions, we have her right here. This is interactive. This is for you. This is for us. Do you have any questions that came up for you? Is there something that you would like to talk about? And remember, you could be the courageous person that asked that question that somebody else had. So I'm going to come down with the mic. If you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand. Yeah.
Thank you. Can you elaborate on the last statement you made? We're not held back by the love we didn't receive, but we're held back by the love we're not giving?
Right now, yeah.
Please expand on that.
Yeah. So oftentimes in our human experience, I don't know about you, but a lot of times love wasn't really expressed too functionally in my childhood, right? And we can get stuck there. And we can get stuck there and think that we're not worthy of it. That affects everything. It's not the truth. That was our experience. Our parents are oftentimes wounded themselves. They're doing the best that they can. But I think what Marianne Williamson is saying there is that right now, we got a choice. Right now, we can choose to love. And sometimes that love, it really does have to start with yourself. Because if we have this sense of unworthiness, we're not loving ourselves. We don't really love ourselves. So beginning that process of self-forgiveness, self-acceptance, so that we can expand and love others. Because right now, who doesn't light up when they're loving somebody, right? That's a choice now. That, even if it's your dog, or your cat. That feels good, right? To love in this moment. This moment is all we have. So I think that that's a central message. Does that answer your question, or you want me to elaborate a little more?
That came up in Kathy Hearn's class where I'm just bringing this up because it came up with Kathy Hearn's class a couple of weeks ago, where she asked who feels they weren't loved in their childhood, and every single hand went up.
Yeah.
So of course we're all expecting so many things, so many I guess emotional support from so many different sources, whether it's at work or at the store from the clerk or at home. And when we don't get it, we kind of pout and put our tails between our legs and go home and go, well, what did I do wrong today?
Yeah.
And that's where I was going with that. I appreciate that you brought this up, and yeah, how do you deal with that? I mean, I feel like you go out there and you give love and you say hello and you nod and people look at you, stare in your eye, and they look away. And it's like, didn't I just say hi?
Yeah.
I mean, what did I do wrong? Because I put my love out and I put my best foot forward, but all I got was rolled eyes at the tree. And what does that mean? And I take that personally.
Yeah. It's hard not to. You know, in the 4 agreements, you know, not to take what other people say or do personally. That's a big one, right? That's a big one.
I'm struggling with number 1.
Right? And so, you know what? Yeah. It's a process. And you know, Jesus was a great example of that. I mean, because it really, Christ consciousness is being in that place of unconditional love. When you can, I mean, think about it. Jesus on the cross, Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. Seeing that they're just in a place of low vibration. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're putting out there, right? And see, the thing is that for us, I think each of us taking responsibility for our own selves and learning, and it's a process. We got to heal, right? To be that expression of love that we were intended to be, that we are inside. We just got to remember. So when I think it's a process of when you get to that place, and I feel myself starting to get there, right? I mean, a few weeks ago, I was at the grocery store, and I'm just shining my light, right? Because I feel it. It's real. It's real. And I helped this old lady, you know, find something she was looking for, and she's like, oh my God, thank you. And she kissed me on the lips. I mean, it was just like, I was like, now that's some love right there. That's like, you know, but it was great. It was great for someone to feel, it's the energy, right? We're all vibration. So it's about raising our vibration. And so more meditation, more prayer, more dancing with the divine, that to me is my experience. That's what I know. And I can only share what I know. That's worked for me. And so it's a process. Be loving and kind to yourself as you continue to raise up. That's it.
I mean, for me,
Yeah.
personally,
I see that.
You guys are so cute. Don't we work with like amazing people? It's so cool. We have one more question, but I just want to share real quick because I work here. I work at Seaside, and I love it every single day. It's so amazing. I walk in, you pray. You go to the bathroom, you pray. You eat, you pray. All the time, you are praying, right? And I was so overwhelmed last week. Like, you don't understand how overwhelmed I was. And I was getting so angry. I was like, all I do is give you love, and all you do is give me more work. And that's not true. Reverend Christian, that's not true. So this is why I'm sharing this story. I called Constant Contacts. This is how we send out all our emails, right? Because I was given another task. And the guy on the other side of the phone ended up doing the work for me. He recreated the template. This took an hour. I was on hold for an hour doing other work while he was doing that for me. And I realized in that moment, that's grace. He saved me an hour. Even though I went to the grocery store and that person was not nice to me, I still gave him my love. You can have it. I have so much to give. And I was overwhelmed. In this moment, I didn't ask this man for anything. I don't know this man. He gave me an hour of his time so that it would save me an hour of mine. I don't know about you, but that was everything for me.
Well, you covered a lot of what I was going to say was, what I am going to say is a principle we have in Science of Mind is I am enough. I am enough. And so whether I give you love and you don't apparently return it, it doesn't matter because I am enough. And then we're speaking into the one mind, and eventually, somewhere, you're going to get it. You are going to get it. And I'm enough, and I don't have to worry about that. And I really want to stay out of judgment and worry about or consider or think or guess about your vibration being high or low. You know, I just stay away from that. That's none of my business. It's just that I'm enough, you're going to get it eventually, and so it is.
Woo! All right. I think that's all we have. If you have any other questions, you can always send us emails. I am here all the time. We have practitioners here all the time. That's not a complaint. That's like, yeah. Yeah. All right. That's probably why they give me work, because I'm always like, yeah, I'll do it. They offer, and I'm like, yeah, me. I'm going to do that. All right. So we have Kinney Dye coming back on the stage, and you've already heard her. You know that her voice is beautiful. It is powerful, and it will touch you. So help me give her a warm welcome.
Getting lost in a cloudless sky. My thoughts are running wild in my mind. I feel the wind rushing over me, reminding me to take the time to breathe and not worry about the next step, and just enjoy living in the moment. I believe in life, I believe in love, and I believe in laughing when I fall down. It makes it easy getting up, and I believe the sunshine can bring healing to your life, just like the way that it is healing mine. So don't you say that it's too late for you to shine, 'cause I see a light. All it takes is a tiny spark to ignite the light that lives inside your heart. So go ahead and let it shine. You share yours and I'll share mine. We'll make the world brighter each day. Step aside and let love lead the way. And I believe in life, I believe in love, and I believe in laughing when I fall down. It makes it easy getting up, and I believe the sunshine can bring healing to your life, just like the way that it is healing mine. So don't you say that it's too late. Don't you say that it's too late. And it's okay if you have a day when you're just not feeling right, 'cause I'll be there to hold your hand. Oh, and together we'll fly. Oh, we'll fly. 'Cause I believe in life, and I believe in love, and I believe in laughing when I fall down. It makes it easy getting up, and I believe the sunshine can bring healing to your life, just like the way that it is healing mine. So don't you say that it's too late for you to shine, 'cause I see light. Oh, I see light.
Oh my goodness, every time. And I like that song. All right. So, it is incredibly important that here at Power Up, we feel enlightened, we feel inspired, we feel moved. But it's even more important that we leave here with concrete ways to apply these learnings, these spiritual principles into our lives. So this is the reason why we have a call to action, so that we can leave here this evening with applicable tools to become greater human beings. And you wanted more Sece, and here she is. Let's clap for her, guys.
So the call to action really this week is if you can set that intention every day to, even if it's a moment of silence, a walk on the beach, some meditation, some prayer, to get quiet enough to listen to what wants to be revealed, and ask yourself the question, how can I show up as love today? And what action can you take that day? It could be calling someone that you haven't talked to in a long time. It can be choosing to smile at everyone that you meet, choosing to do something nice for a neighbor. So as you go within and listen to what's being called, and then do it. And I promise you, you won't be disappointed. So live as the light. Thank you.
All right, you heard that, guys? Just go out there and live as the light. Be the light. All right, let me get my stuff. So, this is the time during our service where we, as a community, get the great honor of supporting this service and this center that gives us so much. Participating in the law of circulation helps each one of us become more generous and more prosperous people. For everything we give comes back to us amplified and increased. So I invite you to place your financial gift over your heart and repeat after me. I'm going to ask the ushers to come up. This gift I give is God in action. I give it in joy. I give it in love. I give it in gratitude for all the good in my life. And so it is.
So as we take that breath now, knowing that it is this prosperity, abundance, consciousness that continues to be all that Spirit is. For as we continue to give and support Seaside in all the ways that we can, knowing that God is the abundance, prosperity, that Spirit is continually giving all that there is to give, that there is no lack in Spirit. We know that this is the consciousness of each and every one here today. And so it is.
Thank you. All right. So our ushers are going to go out into the audience. We're going to have a little strumming here by Kenny Dye. Thank you, Kenny. She plays the guitar and the ukulele. I can play the whistle and the tambourine. I am musical as well. So, last week we had Leslie Goodwin here, and she talked about the metaphysical gifts of Christmas, which was amazing. Cece is amazing. I feel like there is never a person up here who is not amazing. For real. Like, for real. So, the three gifts, does anybody remember? Gold, Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. So gold was being present, right? And she said that frankincense was, help me out, guys. Frankincense was the meditation. And then we had myrrh, which was the prayer. So, if there's anyone that would like to talk about what happened last week, coming into this week, you can go ahead and raise your hand, or else you're just gonna listen to me and all the things that happened to me. I have tons of stories all the time. So, I actually cleaned my office because you were talking about how you decluttered, and I went into my office and I cleaned it, and I even had Charlie come in there and vacuum. Like, I went bananas, and I felt like, I know, me. And I actually felt like I got a lot more work done because there was no clutter around me. So there was no clutter like in my mind. Like I had no emotional clutter. Like I didn't feel so stressed out because there was nothing to be stressed about because there was nothing out. But for some reason, when you have papers piled, it's like, oh my God, look at all that work that you already did. Why do you still have it there? Right? Jeez. Well, that's my story. That was my testimonial. Yeah. I had to like stop and think about it. I was like, why do I feel this way? I don't like this. What do I do? I'm going to sit in it. I'm just going to sit in this feeling. Okay, it's a mess in here. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to clean. So that's what came up for me this week, cleaning. Does anybody want to share? I can talk all night, I promise you. You don't want me to. Oh. You want my mic or you have your own, but here.
I've been going back to this meditation that I got recently from Malika Chopra. I'm reading her book, Living with Intent, and so all about like very intent, like what is my purpose? And I'm not a big meditator. Every time that I sit down to meditation, I'm like, what am I doing? And that's just kind of how it starts every single time until I really allow myself to drop in. And my meditation for the last couple of weeks has just been the words I am, and allowing whatever starts to bubble up inside to whatever word comes to mind, whether it just be like I am tired, let it come forth and then release it. But once I start going, the things that are coming up within me right now, with the end of the year, I've been making massive, major changes. Starting in October, I started making huge lifestyle changes in my life and ridding my space of people that weren't doing service for me, like getting rid of the clutter. Getting rid of the clutter. And it's been great and hard and difficult, but I'm asking myself a lot of difficult questions. I'm working through a lot of difficult questions. And this meditation, as simple as it is, has been bringing up the innermost truths of my being, which is sometimes really hard to face, but it's also been really, really cool. I am easy, simple, and crazily deep.
Yeah, you are. That is your guest artist for this evening, Kenny Dye, in all her depths. All right, guys, we have time for one more testimonial. Don't all raise your hands at the same time. That joke is going to get really old soon, so you really start having to raising your hands. Okay, one more thing then. This one is kind of weird, funny. Okay, so the other day I had a dream, right? And I had a dream where I was talking to, I don't know who I was. Maybe it was Jesus. I have no idea who this person was. And I was talking to them and I was like, all right, I need X, Y, and Z. And they were like, okay. So get X, Y, and Z. And I was like, how do I get it? Like, tell me how to do it so I could do it. And they were like, surrender. And I was like, how do you do that? How do you surrender? I kid you not. I had deposited like maybe 3 or 4 checks into my bank account. None of them went through. They were all hanging out there. All of a sudden, my card, nothing worked. I was like, okay, so what do I do? I guess I have to surrender, right? There's no other way. There's nothing else I can do. I literally had to surrender and be like, the money's gonna roll around in a day or two. All of that money is just gonna come through. So what I did was I had maybe $5 in cash. And I was like, I'm gonna go buy a sandwich with this $5. Right? Which was probably the last thing that you would do is worry about what you're going to eat or whatever it is. Because I was so certain that money was there that I had nothing to worry about. I might not have it today, but I know it's coming in tomorrow. I deposited the checks. It wasn't like God is gonna send. No, like I did it. Like me, myself, I physically went, deposited the checks. I knew that they're there. So the money that I had, I just went in and I bought a sandwich. Like I splurged on this pesto chicken wrap. It was amazing. And the following day, just like I knew, the money was there. And I was like, oh, cool, look. And at that moment, I was like, oh, that's what you meant by surrender. Literally, surrender. I knew it was there. I expected it to be there, and it was. It wasn't there in 2 seconds, but it was there the next morning. Right? That was me. That was kind of weird because it was really a dream. I was thinking about it while I was up there. But these things happen, and these are not testimonials so you could be like, hey, look how great I am. No, these are because I am here. I'm standing right here with you. It's not about who's on stage. It's not about that. It's about us as a community, so that you can see that if I can do it, you can do it too. So that you can see that the struggles that you've been through, we've been through it too. We're all in this together. And that's what these testimonials are for. That's what the call to action is for. That's what the Q&A is for. Because unlike Sunday services, and Sunday services are amazing, but Wednesdays are for us as a community. And I keep coming back every Wednesday because I know that I'm going to see certain faces, and I can't wait to tell you the things that happen and how I listened to you and I decluttered like you did. As you guys are learning from us, we are also learning from you. So, Sece, if you would come back on stage. Time of gratitude. So, I want to personally thank Ed Reeves for being here. He's always doing the sound. Thank you so much, Ed. And we have Tim Griffin. Thank you so much, Tim. He's doing the live stream along with Gregory. Yeah. And we have Ginny and Dennis Mills. Dennis is running around somewhere. But thank you so much for being here every Wednesday, for your consciousness, for your love, for your prayer. We have Trudy, who's holding the light, holding the space with her beautiful, wonderful, magnificent heart. Thank you, Trudy. We have each and every single one of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your questions, your testimonials, your thoughts, your consciousness, your heart, your smiles. Thank you. If you're watching on the live stream, thank you for sharing your consciousness, your time, your love. We feel it, and we thank you. And of course, we have Miss Kinney Diad, the most beautiful, the most amazing woman out here. Yeah, Kinney, with her beautiful, loving heart and wonderful voice. And of course, we have the woman that brought us the inspiration of the evening and the call to action. So thank you, Sece, for being here, all the way from Temecula. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And I think I got everyone. And for all these decorations, thank you. So, now that I've thanked everyone and everything, we're gonna have Kinney Di come up and do her congregational song. We will be in the family room afterwards. If you would like to buy one of Kinney's CDs, she has them up at a table as well. You know, you guys can hang around, talk to us. We're kind of cool. And we'll all stand up and do our congregational song.
Someday I'm gonna get these words to Kat so she can put them up. They're really easy. I will be joy. I will be peace. I will be love. That's basically all you need to know. I will be joy. I will be peace to those around me. I will be love to all I see, because everything I need I have within me. I will be joy.
that is all for this evening. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your presence. There is tea in the back, and there are CDs. So we'll see you there.
Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry, be happy. In every life we have some trouble, but when you worry you make it double. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Ain't got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed. Don't worry, be happy. The landlord say your rent is late. He may have to litigate. Don't worry, be happy. Look at me, I'm happy.